Hello, it's Karen here from Dark Moon Emporium, and today I've been engraving a photo onto acrylic for an LED nightlight. I'm a big fan of Kim and Garrett Make It YouTube channel. In fact, I first saw the X-Tool D1 demonstrated by Kim and Garrett, so you could say that they got me into this. Now, today's project is inspired by one that they did on their channel quite some time ago, putting a photograph onto an LED nightlight. Now, at that time, they used ImageR to prepare the image. Since then, XCS has come on leaps and bounds, and the latest version of Creative Space has some features that I think I can manage the whole process inside the one program. So let's see if I'm right. Here I am in X2 Creative Space, and I am on the D1 canvas, and I'm going to begin by importing my picture, which is this one. And XCS is telling me that my image is too large for the canvas. Do I want to scale it? Yes, I do. So there it is. This is a picture of my little granddaughter. And I don't want the whole, I don't want the whole thing. So I'm going to begin by cropping the image. And I'm going to crop it into a square. So let me just adjust things a little bit. So I think that looks like a nice grouping, and I'm going to resize it down to 150 millimeters. We center that, and I'm going to come up here to cut out. This is a new option in the latest version of X2 Creative Space, and I have an option now of AI cutout and manual cutout. If I go to manual cutout, that gives me the options that I've always had of the eraser and the magic wand. The AI cutout has done what it thinks I want to keep and what I think I want to retain. And if there's anything that I think maybe it's missed, so I'm looking over here and I think there's a little bit of something sticking out on the corner of her hat there, which maybe I don't need. So let's have a tiny little brush and click on remove, and I'm working on this image here, and I can just take that out a little bit more, and I think I'm happy with that, and I can confirm it, and it has done a pretty good job, I think you'll agree, of cutting out that image. I'm just jumping in here to let you know that to use the AI cutout tool, you are going to need X-Tool credits. Now, you can purchase them or you can earn them by participating activities. This cutout cost me 6 credits. I thought the quality was really good, so I was happy to spend my credits on it. So there's a few more things I need to do to it before I can process it. And I'm going to come up here to adjust. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the saturation right down so that I get a black and white image. Let's zoom in a little bit so that I can see what I'm doing properly. And now I'm going to just play around with the adjustments to try and get an image the way I think I want it to be. So I'm just going to play about with these for a bit, and I'll come back. I'll come back when I've finished. Right, well, that is starting to look okay, but so that I can be sure or have a better idea of what it's going to look like when I process it, I'm going to set my material. Now, I've gone onto the Xtool Materials site and I've downloaded the settings for black opaque acrylic. Sorry, so that's giving me a power and speed setting. I'm going to change the dots to 240 and I'm going to, the bitmap mode is Jarvis, and now I'm going to hit process, and this can take a little while because there's quite a lot of things to be processed. Okay, so that's the preview, and I'm not 100% happy with that. I've got all of this stuff going on in the background, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in, and off camera I'm just going to play around with all my settings until I'm happy with what I've got, and then I'll come back ready to actually process the image. Okay, I have played around with the settings until I've got the preview looking pretty much the way I want it. One last thing to do before I move over to the D1, and that is to reflect the image horizontally, because I am going to be burning this onto the back of my piece of acrylic, and so when I look at it from the front, I need it to be mirrored. With my image prepped, I've now moved up to my craft room so that I can connect to my D1 Pro. I've taken the protective covering off both sides of my piece of acrylic, and I've put a piece of black card into my D1, and I've focused the laser on the card, okay, because I'm going to be engraving on the underside of my piece of acrylic, so that's where I want my focus to be. For the purposes of framing, I've created a 150mm square and I've centered my image on it, and now all I have to do is my framing. So I'm going to go and do that. I've completed the framing and now I'm ready to do my processing. I've adjusted the parameters on the square that I put in. I've turned it right down to 1% of power, and I'm just going to leave it there. I did think about turning it off, but I wasn't sure how that was going to affect the framing of the final piece, and you know what, life is just too short, so I'm just leaving it there. And now I am ready to hit process. So it's telling me that the power is set to 1%. I do want to continue because I did it on purpose, so I'm just going to hit ignore. And now I am going to wait for the image to process. Okay, so it's going to take, it guesses, about 50 minutes, which is, you know, it's a long time. So I'm going to be staying up in my craft room and getting on with other projects while it does its thing. But now I'm just going to hit start, and now I'm going to wait until the that circle here is complete and I get the go ahead to hit start, because if I hit it before it's all finished, even though the button on my computer is flashing, what it will do, it'll try to engrave the previous project, and I don't want that. Ask me how I know. So yeah, in this case, patience is a virtue. I've speeded this bit up 8 times. As you can see, it is taking quite a bit of time, even when it's speeded up. So this is just kind of reinforcing the message that you really do need to be patient when you're processing a file of this size. So once the engraving was done, it left an awful lot of residue on the back of the image. So I took my little bit of acrylic to the sink and I washed it. The soot just washed straight off, no problems at all. And I'm pretty happy with the result. So here is the finished article, set into an LED base. It's very difficult to actually get a good shot of this in all its glory, but I've done my best, and I'm very, very happy with the way it turned out. Now, I'm going to keep this one for myself, but I am going to make another for my son and my daughter-in-law, and I hope that they like it. They live at the other side of the country from me. I live in Wales. They live in Surrey, so I don't get to see my granddaughter very often. So the pictures that I do get are very, very precious. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do click the thumbs up button below. And if you really enjoyed it and would like to see more, then please do click on the subscribe button. It's free for you, but it really does help my channel. For now though, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye bye.